Our Lights Camera Jackson breaks down Breaking Dawn and Lincoln. Good to see you, Jackson.
Good to see you. We're going to start off with the final installment in what was known as the Twilight Saga, one of the biggest movie series of all time. When we left this story at the end of Breaking Dawn Part 1, Bella, played by Kristen Stewart, and if you didn't know that, the rest of this is not going to matter much to you, had given birth to a baby girl she and hubby Edward, Robert Pattinson, named Renesmee. I'm still trying to recover from that birth scene. The only way to prevent Bella from dying, giving birth to a baby vampire, was to turn her into a vampire as well. Part 2 picks up just a few days later. Renesmee is a healthy, half-human, half-vampire and is growing rapidly every day. And she has her own personal protector, Jacob, played by Taylor Lautner. So all is perfect in the Cullen clan until the enemies of the Volturi Coven, led by Aro, Michael Sheen, find out about Renesmee and think she's an immortal child, a pure vampire child, which is against the law. So to protect Renesmee, members of the Cullen clan set out to round up friendly vampires who will help them in a possible fight to the death with the Volturi. Jacob, who, by the way, Lautner does take his shirt off one last time, ladies, also gets his werewolf relatives to join in the battle.
So, Jackson, I know you haven't read any of the books.
Right.
You didn't really like the movies before. Did anything about this movie change that?
For the most part, no. The first hour and a half is dreadful. But I will say, the final 30 minutes of this film saves the movie thanks to a twist that's surprisingly, incredibly effective. Since I hadn't read the book, it worked perfectly on me. And after doing a little research, the surprise is also going to affect people who thought they knew this story inside and out. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to give credit to the director, Bill Condon, and screenwriter Melissa Rosenberg. In fact, this shocker saves Breaking Dawn Part 2 from being one of the worst films of the year.
Now, obviously, we can't spill the beans on the finale. What didn't you like about the movie?
Well, once again, this is painfully mediocre movie making. The pacing's all over the place, the dialogue is laugh-out-loud corny, and the use of green screen for the action scenes is shockingly bad. If you weren't emotionally involved with this story and these characters heading into the theater, there's nothing on screen that'll pull you in.
And lastly, a grade for this movie.
That's right. On the official LCJ report card, the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2 gets a C-, which is the same grade I gave to Part 1, so overall a C- for the Breaking Dawn saga.
Now, amazingly, as we move on to your next film, Lincoln, there is a perfect transition. The film from earlier this year, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter.
Yes.
But I'm guessing this time our 16th president isn't chopping off any heads.
No, vampire hunting this time. There's none of that. But Lincoln isn't a straightforward biography on our 16th president either. Instead, the movie focuses on a specific period of time, the beginning of the year 1865, which was also the start of Lincoln's second term in the White House. America is deep into the Civil War. 2 years earlier, Lincoln had issued the Emancipation Proclamation freeing all slaves. However, it did not outlaw slavery or make the ex-slaves citizens. Those desires by Lincoln and his supporters would have to be achieved through the passing of the 13th Amendment. But the president also wanted to end the war as soon as possible. But if the South surrendered before the vote on the amendment was taken in the House of Representatives, it would not get enough support to pass. This conflict is at the core of Lincoln, and Daniel Day-Lewis embodies the president as a man in constant turmoil over the decisions only he can make.
Now, this doesn't sound like a typical action movie or war movie.
Right.
How would you describe Lincoln?
It's an historical drama and one of the best. Director Steven Spielberg does these as well, if not better than anybody else. Lincoln is dominated by political dialogue. That may sound dull, but it's anything but. This movie is emotional, it's thrilling, and it's inspirational.
And an incredible ensemble cast here, led by Daniel Day-Lewis. Who stood out to you?
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis is fantastic here. I think the Best Actor Oscar race is over. He's got a fantastic chance of winning this award. Sally Field also very good here as Mary Todd Lincoln in a supporting role. She's going to get a lot of buzz, as well as Tommy Lee Jones, who has a great role as Thaddeus Stevens. It is an all-star cast. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, James Spader, David Strathairn, Hal Holbrook, they are all fantastic.
And lastly, we got to find out a grade.
On the official LCJ report card, Lincoln gets an A-. The John Williams score is a little over the top, and there are a few minor problems, but it is definitely one of the better films of the year. It is a must-see in theaters.